about there could be some near-term pain in the overall uptake of cement. Sanjay Ladiwala is with us. He might give us some numbers. Sanjay, good morning. Have things changed over the last 1 month? Is there genuine slowdown, or do you think it's too much noise?
Well, there is a slight effect, no doubt, especially in the segment which is the trade segment, where it's mainly cash sale. So in that there is a slowdown. However, I can't give you numbers because it's a little too early to collate figures, and we really don't know how deep the impact is. But there surely is an impact, especially in the smaller trade segment.
Okay. Well, actually, Mr. Ladiwala, you cannot give us numbers for the entire sector. But if we spoke to Bajaj and they said that 1 week they saw 25% fall in sales. If you can give us even unit-wise, how much do you think November will end up in terms of a loss in sale?
Well, it's a guesstimate.
It's a contraction.
At the best, yes. There is a contraction, and I would say about 10% would be affected, because majority of cement, especially in infrastructure and in projects, even including builders, is all sold by cash through banks. So it's only the cash segment which has got affected. I would say about 10%.
Okay. If the withdrawal limits stay till December 31, will December also be a 10% lower sale?
I think maybe a little more than that. Yes, but there will be, because at the moment there is some cash in circulation. More is moving towards banking and through checks, but we're not seeing really a sort of impact there.
Okay. Does this have a move on pricing as well, or does that get unaffected? I mean, because in normal scenario you would expect if demand comes down, pricing comes down.
Yeah, but it's a little too small and too soon to say that. But yes, if this lasts, we should see some correction prices.
Okay. Mr. Ladiwala, now if you can wear your hat as a veteran of this industry for the past several decades, what is the second round impact? Real estate has been used to transactions in cash and maybe even in non-tax paid money, in black money. Now as it comes to terms with the new reality, the cash is gone. It has to deal with white. So over the next, 2017, how much of a slowdown do you expect in demand for cement?
I think real estate is really going to be hit really badly, and we should see prices coming off very substantially, because sales will be very difficult, to say the least, especially in 2017. Infrastructure won't be affected. What I'm afraid of is the individual housing segment in the rural sector, which might be affected, because if demonetisation is going to affect the crop season, the sowing season, the whole economy in the rural segment depends on agriculture. And if that is going to have an adverse effect on agriculture, then we'll see demand in the rural sector coming up, which is huge.
But why should it? I mean, they've already allowed, of course, seeds to be purchased from government stores with old notes, but agricultural income is not taxed. So even if a farmer bought a sack of notes and said, this is my agricultural income over the last several years, I'm unable to see, what's the ground reality you are getting from the rural outposts of cement dealers?
Well, there has to be basically an income to be tax-free.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, if the income is affected because of restrictions in sowing and all that, then, and I'm saying it's an if then only it will be, but otherwise it's healthy.
Okay. The counter question is that this will have an impact on land prices, especially in the rural areas. They'll come down quite significantly. So housing actually might take up, might take off. That's been the counter argument that I've heard. Your thoughts on that?
Not so much in the rural sector. Actually, the inflation in prices, land prices is in the urban cities, actually.
Even there the land prices might come down.
Certainly. And once the bottom is reached, certainly a correction is expected and sales should pick up. But during that time, there will be quite a lot of pain, and we won't see any demand forthcoming from those sectors.
Okay, actually, Shireen Bhan had spoken to Piyush Goyal. I don't know if we can fish out the bite quickly. We'll do it before the show ends for sure. But he was talking about a big fiscal boost, especially for, one assumes for housing. Would you say, therefore, that this pain will last only as long as cash withdrawal, fiscal stimulus can be a counter?
Well, in the real estate segment, I think it will be longer than that.
Okay.
But in the other sectors, yes. So it's a more short-term pain in the other sectors, and the other sectors are growing healthy. So I don't think cement will be, I mean, it will be corrected now. The demand will be affected, no doubt, but the pickup will be much sooner.
Okay, so if you have to give a guesstimate for second half, how much may it be lower for...
No, see, we were expecting cement in this year to grow by about 5.5%. Those figures will have to be revised. And I think...
To what, flat?
Well, no, not flat, because it will be slightly above the last year's figures. But following that, there won't be any pickup at least till the next year. Next year, I mean the end of next year, November, December.
Okay, after the monsoon,
yeah.
that is. Okay, that looks like a well, pessimistic picture, but let's wait and see whether fiscal stimulus can
I'm trying to be realistic, but let's see.
Thank you, Sanjay Ladiwala, for joining us with that reality check for the cement sector.